Coming to you live from the cradle of motherfucking civilization. It's time for Destiny Down Under.
Welcome to the 164th episode of the Destiny Down Under podcast, the first in Season of the Worthy. This week I'm joined by none other than Mylan Bandoila Games and special correspondent from the Lighthouse, because we'll probably never get there ourselves, Sassi, our good friend, our PvP overlord, our fucking lord and savior of violence. How you going, mate?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Sassi, most important question.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have fun?
Yes.
So a bit of backstory. If you're just listening to this and you haven't been sort of hanging out all day, this is Trials launch day. So basically, I didn't, because I'm a responsible adult with children. But these pair got up this morning and jumped straight on and were playing Trials all morning and had a great time of it. But
No, the backstory is we were expecting some sort of like just godly advice from Sassi a couple of weeks ago when we asked him like what's your number one tip? His number one tip was have fun. Which is a good tip, but I was sort of looking for some more specific feedback on how I could actually get to the lighthouse.
Well, you get 7 wins without losing, and then you can get to the light.
But no, how many cards did we play this morning?
Like 5? I don't know.
No,
probably one
No.
card after all the shenanigans.
Maybe it was 5, 4 or 5 we did this morning. What was the highest we got? I think 5 wins.
We got to 5, and then
to 5.
Aura got beavered. We probably would have.
Yeah, that was a
we
bit
probably
rough.
would have gotten flawless on that card, but
Our third player got
disconnected.
beavered. Disconnected.
Got beavered.
Got disconnected. So that was a 2v3 in which we lost. So it was a bit rough.
Rude.
Would have been nice to get that win.
You can't join back in if it's, it's not like comp where you can
No.
fill a slot. Oh,
No.
wow.
just yeet us, delete us, man.
Yeah, well.
I don't know why you wouldn't have a rejoin option.
Yeah, it seems odd that it's in comp and not in that, but I don't know. Maybe
Do you
it's got to
think
do with
people
the
would
new
really be
networking
able
stuff.
to disconnect to take advantage of it?
Probably not. I can't see how disconnecting from the game would put your team at an advantage. But
You know what it should be? It should be like Tarkov. Your character stands still when you get disconnected and you can still be killed.
Oh,
But if you
God.
come back in and it's still there, you go back in. But if you're dead, you obviously just respawn in trials like the next round.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean that'd be the
That
way
would
to
make
work.
sense.
But obviously, I don't know. Obviously, there's an infrastructure reason there that we don't understand. That's why we can't do that.
Look at us getting straight into Destiny talk.
But no, this is
Oh
what
my
happens when you
goodness.
actually play the game, Matty. It's fucking crazy, right?
Like, what's going to happen to the guy who puts like Destiny talk starts at like whatever? He's put starts at 0-0.
Yeah, well, he's going to have to, because we launched straight into it today. I did play a card this morning because I wanted to be able to come on and talk with some kind of experience behind me. I jumped in with Max and Sago, and it was good. I mean, there's a lot of hard light, man. I hope you like lasers. If you're planning on playing Trials, I hope you're into lasers, because it was just like we were running into whole teams that were just all hard lighting. And I don't know, man. I guess it's the meta now. It's well up there. What did you guys use, Sass? What were you running?
we ended up going like really meta and devolving to just using Thorn, because in the sweaty games, you can't res if you're taking damage, and the
tick
Thorn
damage, yeah.
ticks were just
Really?
really important in denying reses, even if you just shoot their foot and run away for a bit. So
On that note, can I please have help getting my Thorn? I saw you do Savathun quest.
Hey, you're not far off it, but if
well,
you've just got to do that
if-
No, I
last
just need to
strike.
and it's just a Savathun quest. That's
Yeah.
all I need to do.
Also, I had to devolve to using a Warlock. So
Oh,
yeah.
I regret asking
I
you to
know.
come on now.
To be honest, Barry,
I will happily just alt F4.
Titan barriers still feel pretty good. To be honest, I thought they were going to be completely useless, but they're not. They still take a bit of damage.
Yeah. What essentially happened is we felt like we were just being a bit too shoehorned in our team comp. So I went to Warlock to do Stormcaller just for the arc web, so you just get that area denial. And then the Storm Trance, which in my opinion is the best like super v super apart from Thunder Crash, like super in the game. So you just do that for safety. But I mean, this morning I did one this morning and it was much more chill. But yeah, as soon as we got on with Mr. Mile in here, it got unbelievably sweaty.
Matt.
Didn't help that I didn't learn how to aim for like 3 hours, but we got there.
There was only like maybe 2 matches that we got really steamrolled, and then other ones were just pretty even, and me just basically I'll just do damage. I just took shields off. And then Sassi and I got the killing blow. That's my excuse anyway.
Hey man, you're just a good team player. That's all that matters, right?
Yeah.
Well, look. Let's just quickly wrap up. How is everyone? Because that's normally where we start, and then we can jump back into talking about all this sort of shit till our heart's content. Matt, how you going? What's going on?
Look, was I on Twitch last week, or has it only been a week since I've been streaming on Twitch?
I think most of it's occurred this week.
I think so. I can't even remember. Anyway, I decided to go back to Twitch to stream for multiple reasons. Well, actually, I just wanted to play Trials, to be honest.
It's one big reason, and it rhymes with Tani.
So we did that, and then I started to apply some of our learnings from the Sydney event. We did this like lore pub quiz at the Sydney event, which was in real life, and it was just like heaps of fun. And I think Sassi brought it up. I think Sassi suggested it actually.
Because it was when Aura and I devolved your stream into doing nothing but Destiny 2 quotes.
Yeah, that's right.
And part of that, we started asking some of Matt's viewers sub questions and then threatening to ban them if they got them wrong.
And so that led to this idea
Toxic.
it'd be fun to watch some trials. And then in between trial games, we would basically, if chat could answer a lore question within 3 minutes, I would gift them a sub. And so, we gifted a lot of subs today.
Well, it's because Google, man. Like, if anyone's sitting there watching you on a computer, they can just...
No, but the thing is, like, I am going to make the questions harder. I gave I think only chat got 2 wrong out of like 50 questions. So I will make it harder, but you can word questions in a way that you can't Google stuff. Like you can put in, things that you can't search in Ishtar. Like you need to know where it comes from.
Yeah.
Like if you word them correctly, you can make it. So it's very hard to Google. That makes sense.
That's your challenge for the week, right? Before trials.
But you know how long
weekend.
it took me to write 50 questions?
Man, I would have had 10 prepared if it had been me. I wouldn't have even had 50. just ask them off the top of your head by the end or whatever, or...
No, we just.
He was getting chat to give him.
We stopped at 50. I started to get. There was literally one person in chat, BB Bay, that just carried the entire fucking chat. Like he knew he or she knew every answer. And then we had Bad Irish Luck who gifted like 40 subs out of everything. So between those two combos.
Irish is a champion. Very, very, very legendary member of Ninja's community. So nice to see pop up in yours.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to get a bill at the end of this month.
Anyway.
She. Yes, she. Sorry. Yes, I was told that. Yes, I've got a bad habit of saying he.
Yeah, it's the internet, man. It's kind of the safe assumption, but whatever. So how have you found
5%?
How have you found getting back into Destiny? Have you? Because you've been playing a heap more than you have. Like you've always played, but you're well back into it now.
Well, that being said, I always do play a lot when a new release is out. So, I definitely have some criticisms of this release. Are we still in the intro? Are we getting?
Yeah, we're
to that
still
now?
in the intro. It's kind of seepy because we're all playing Destiny and doing fuck all else. our lives. Just
Okay, look. To summarize it, the motivation for me was getting high enough light level for trials, and I haven't hated it. I think it could be better, and we'll get to the reasons why in a sec. But I think if you got the carrot, people are willing to grind, and I just was excited for Trials Return, and I was willing to grind out bounties and do all that kind of stuff. We'll talk about the specifics in a sec, but you know, it wasn't the best, it wasn't the worst.
Sweet. Sass, how's your week been?
Yeah, it's been good.
Good.
Apart from so we started playing. Actually, I met up with one of the boys earlier this week instead of playing.
Yeah, you went on launch night. Hey, you were catching up with Jugs. And Aura,
I was catching up with Jugs and Aura on launch night, which was good, man. It was really good to get out of meeting people like that you play games with outside the game is always. I find it's always really nice. Like it's weird. But after you get like the past 20 seconds where it's like, do I call you your real name or do I call you like your in-game name? It starts, it just gets really chill. So it's just,
for those that don't know, Sassi's like a beautiful butterfly. He started off as the most toxic caterpillar you could think of. And then as soon as we got him in real life, we met at PAX, realized he was a big cuddly teddy bear. And now he's all about the love, man. He's all about the friendship.
It was always about that. It was always about that beforehand, but just gave him an excuse. We've enabled him to be a fucking positive little beacon of hope.
Yeah. And then once I came back, it's basically just been preparing for trials. I mean, when I say preparing, I mean it was extremely loose because I wasn't exactly trying that particularly hard to level up. Because I'm not about that really hard grind anymore. I was just trying to enjoy the content while trying to maximize.
It'd be interesting to know what the level was like. I mean, I don't know if did you really feel it?
I would say about a quarter of the players were 1,000 light and above. I'd say the vast majority were about 980 to 990 where we were sitting at. And then about a quarter were a bit lower. So like your 970s and your 960s. But I don't know. Sometimes I really felt the light level difference. Other times it just felt kind of normal.
As an average player who wasn't hitting crits, I sort of felt it, especially on like an auto rifle where it's not hard hitting. You sort of got to have that sustained damage.
Like you're wailing on them for ages.
You get into those moments where they escape with like 2 HP.
Yeah,
the only reason they didn't die is because of the light level difference.
I sort of felt
and Matt
that
don't think about it that much. If they get away, they get away.
There was some instances we were playing with Aura, and just a preface of the chat, Aura I think is 1,010. I think it was
disgusting.
Yeah. He's 1,000, and there were moments where he was taking a point blank shotgun to the face and then just shrugging it off.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to like this sort of shit being ironed out next week and it being solely about the actual gameplay, because it's kind of
it's going to be interesting, the difference. I think it'll be really cool to see the difference now,
because we're all going to get at least it'll give us a point of reference, right?
Like next week,
give us a point of reference to be able to compare it to.
Yeah.
I've had a shit week, but I'm here now, and I'm glad I'm here.
Yeah, you've been.
You haven't had the best of weeks.
No, I've had a really ordinary week. I won't get into why, because it's sort of all family stuff and whatever. But it's been pretty crap. But I had an important meeting this morning, and that's why I'm wearing sleeves, and that's all you're going to hear about it.
Really? I was like, everyone in chat's losing their shit because you're wearing sleeves. Is that literally why? And then you didn't even have your freaking camera on.
Oh, yeah, and there was no cameras on.
Okay, who started that? Who fucking started the camera turn off?
Okay, so it was
let's not.
We can't say.
We can't.
Actually, the person in charge that said no. I'll just leave it at that.
We need to leave it.
I'm just saying I was right.
That's why I'm wearing. That's why I've got me good shirt on.
It is going out flano.
All right, let's hit the fucking.
Oh no, I think I've been booted.
Oh, you're still there, Sassi. You've been kicked out of the lighthouse. You hope.
I was going to say, you better keep moving, man.
Yeah, I'll go back there.
It's good of
Oh,
him
it
to do that.
requires flawless. You can never go.
Go in the tower. People can jump in and try and bag you. All right, let's hit the
Oh,
sting,
Sassi,
and when we
you
come
should've
back,
recorded
we'll talk about what's going on with Season of the Worthy and give our takes on it. Yeah. Right. So, I mean, we had Season of the Worthy launch Wednesday morning Aussie time this week. I don't know. I mean, look, Matty, you've probably had more time to formulate your opinions on it than I have, because I've been sort of solely focused on getting my light up as high as I can.
Yeah.
So I could be kind of effective in trials, but which, you know, we'll circle back to that in a little while. But as for the seasonal content, what have you made of it so far?
So look, the formula is the same as previous seasons. It's a couple new activities, level up those activities in relation to a story. The story is the Almighty is going to crash into the city. We need to enable Rasputin by clearing out his Seraph bunkers and enacting the Seraph Towers, which are basically public events. Right now, I have an issue with basically the Seraph Towers are quite hard to complete and people aren't doing them correctly. And also there's not as much reason to do them because the bounties you get from Rasputin are just things like use this weapon. So people aren't even, and there's only one bounty that requires you to complete the actual Seraph activity. So there's not many people doing the Seraph activity. It's quite a high light level. I think it's 980 and it quite requires some coordination. And I just want to do that activity. That makes sense. Like we're meant to be activating these towers on these different planets to defend the world. And basically we can't do that because people are grinding like bounties in different areas. So my bit of feedback is I think the bounties aren't quite aligned with the narrative right now. And I think all they need to be is like rather than just get auto rifle kills anywhere or the crucible, I think they should have done get auto rifle kills in the crucible or during the Seraph Tower public event.
Yeah, that might be a hard metric thing that they can't really capture because it's really just in the EDZ. That was what I was thinking about it. Like, you know, like they want people to participate in that public event. Sure, they probably just needed it to drop more of the Rasputin tokens, whatever they are, the bits. So that's what we're ultimately doing it for, and the activity itself is fucking hard and not rewarding enough. So why would you? You just take the path of least resistance, do the bounty somewhere else, and I think that's kind of like.
And the thing is, have you seen the frames? The frame, it's so cool. Like when you get the cool thing is you get your perks on your Seraph bunker, right? You get the Valkyrie, you get the what are the Warframes called? They're called something, and like. Basically, you can get Valkyries and these big robots that come in and help you do the public events.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
And it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But
that's so hard to do it yourself. Yeah, no one's bothered to really explore that. I've not seen them myself in game at all. I've only seen them on other people's streams. So I'm really looking forward to it.
But this is the thing. This is going to be an event that like no one will do, and then everyone will slowly come around and do it. And then it will just go away because it's not worth it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. It kind of feels like
slowly burn to lead up, and then it's just gonna fall off, I think.
You remember when Esky Protocol first started and you were like super excited to activate it, and then as soon as you activate it, you just got dumpstered by like 20 million thrall.
Yeah, and that was cool. And it was like people trying to resort to jink ways into which they could like load 9 people into the instance to easily complete it. Where this isn't that, and it's clearly not designed to be that. But at the same time, it's too hard for people who randomly stroll into it with no communication to do it. Like even the thing that me and you discovered just doing it before, Matt, that if we all throw the balls at it at the same time, it seems to move along quicker. Like, I don't know. I mean, we shouldn't be surprised that it's a Bungie thing with throw the balls at the balls. You know, everyone should know how to do it by now. That's all this game is, just balls. A huge big ball in the sky, throw balls at things into balls.
I mean, at the end of the day, this is what I keep saying is like they introduce these new seasons and the activities are usually really good. I just want to fucking play the activity. Like,
But yeah, I do agree with what you're saying, Log.
Activity.
Like, it's not long enough to justify trying to jank your way into 9 people, and the rewards aren't there to like do it over and over and over again, like you used to be able to do with Escalation Protocol. So it's like that weird state where it's like it's too hard just to find a random one and join in, but it's like not rewarding enough for you to go out of your way and try get a group of people to do it.
It's more efficient for you to just go do Rasputin bounties solo to level it.
Yeah, I mean, like it does speak to something that I think Destiny would really benefit from, and that is like really fucking hard content that is in the open world, right? Like if they had like a world boss that was like, Rasputin really doesn't like this bloke, everyone needs to fucking join forces to go and kill him. That's cool, but because it's like it's mechanic heavy, it's not rewarding, and it's you can avoid it. I think it's sort of like that's the perfect storm that we're at with it. It's
thinking
cool,
about it. Maybe it should have been similar to Blind Well, where you have tiers, so the people could still do it, and they could make it harder and harder and give the rewards better. Like, why not have a tier 1 Seraph Tower that we can actually do at 950? And people can play that activity.
Why not just have that one be the EDZ one and then make the one that's on other planets harder? Because they're clearly going to run this out.
As the weeks progress. Yeah. True. As the weeks
maybe
progress.
They do get harder. Like maybe we're in for a world of fucking hurt. I don't know.
I know. True.
I mean, okay. So the rest sort of Wednesday night for me was load up. You met with the cutscene. It's pretty cool. I do question Zavala's capability, given that he was like taking cover and hiding from 3 fucking Cabal. I'm like, mate, you could probably just punch them all. Like, what are you worried about?
And then he did at the end.
Yeah, well, he did, and then he took the bullet from what's her name, Inatem. Was that Inatem that was in the bridge of the thing shooting all the stuff? Is that what we're meant to believe?
It was just some rando scion.
It's meant to be Amtech, but there was like 3 of them. They're just randos.
There you go. So what did you make of that? Like the cutscene and the mission that ended where we're sort of in the bunker and
I did laugh about how bad Zuma was.
Yeah, he's so bad.
It's pretty campy.
Can I just
it was a bit memey, but
the second big meme it happened is when they sent you to Anna Bray on Mars, and she's like, "You need to speak to Rasputin, but before you do that, make orbs of light because." Why?
Because
why not? Just make some orbs of light.
I think that's kind of where we're all getting to with Destiny at the moment. And there's a lot of people who burn out and a lot of people are sort of discontented with where the game's at the moment. And a lot of it stems from the fact that it's like Matt's lowering his desk and it's weird. A lot of it stems from the fact is it feels like just there's not a lot of content, but it's all geared around this endless grind, right? Like, and that was a quest step that was just like, dude, like this, there's no point to this. It's just a hoop to jump through to then go to the next bit.
Yeah,
like,
and it just breaks the immersion like instantaneously.
Yeah, that second quest step or whatever it was, like I played Destiny probably like 15, 16 hours and hadn't done
it. It wasn't really worth it.
And I was actively trying to do it as well. It was a bit rough.
I probably haven't done it then.
Level
I don't even know what it is.
Just get Rasputin's bunker to level 1, whatever it is.
Yeah, I haven't done that. I've done stuff all because I've been.
You got to unlock. You got to unlock his nodes, and then
that is painfully hard to do on a single character. That one is designed to do it on all 3 characters.
So,
yeah,
like I think in general, all the elements are basically there. I just feel like the activities they got the players to do were a bit off. Like, yeah, the cutscene's great. You had a new vendor, Rasputin, which was dope. His bunker is dope. His voice is dope. That's all great. You have Seraph Towers. I think the activity is fine. You have the clearing the bunkers. I think everything is all meshing together. I think the bit that fell through was like what the players are actually doing.
Yeah, the gameplay loop of it all.
I think the collect orbs and shooting stuff just needed to be linked. Like, why not get orbs in Seraph bunkers? Why not get kills in Seraph towers or Crucible because Trials was coming up? Like, I just feel like it needed to be a bit more there.
Yeah, wholeheartedly agree. It just feels like the bunch of stuff is happening around you, and the stuff that you do to quote unquote help with the big offensive and whatever is just so random. You know,
But you know, this always happens.
Having a story that's built around urgency, like there's this spaceship and it's hurtling towards us, and we need to do all this stuff, but go and generate some orbs.
Yeah,
it's kind of like, yeah. I think thematically it's got a little bit of an issue with that, where it's sort of built around urgency, but at the same time, like last season it was easy because it was all fucking around with time and it didn't really matter, right? Like there was so many things going on. It's like you could come back to it when you wanted, go back in time and interact with Saint, rescue him, all that sort of shit. It was there when you wanted to do it, but now that it's like the sky is falling, it seems kind of funny to be jumping through the arbitrary hoops like we usually have to do.
Yeah. I don't know where I sit with the Almighty like hurling towards Earth as a
we've
big
all got
threat.
spaceships. Can't we just like push it out of the way?
I've definitely seen some harsh criticism of that. When I first heard it, I didn't feel like it was bad in any way, really. I thought it didn't really make me excited though, like other narrative arcs have been. They obviously wanted to bring Rasputin back in some way.
Yeah,
I think that's.
Another thing that I've conversations that I've had sort of over the last couple of days. Did you find like Rasputin's personality? I mean, I know that he doesn't have much to convey personality with.
Oh, he just did like a complete 180.
He's done like a complete reversal of like, there was this big face-off between him and Osiris, and you expected that they were going to be like button heads, and that was going to be the point of the season, right? Like, you know, it gave everyone the impression that there could have even been another one of these sort of choose a side quests like we saw with the Drifter, but it's really not. It's kind of like you expected. Maybe the door shut and Rasputin went, yeah, mate, no worries, I'll help you. And that was the end of it. But it didn't feel like that was the vibe coming into it. But, you know, now that we've started progressing through the content, Rasputin's good guy Rasputin, and we've just got to help him help us. Like, I kind of thought there'd be a little bit more, I don't want to say depth because it's not really the right word, but
I felt like the season would have been based around trying to get Rasputin to help.
Yeah, like proving out.
Well, okay, but did you actually read the steps that like why you were collecting orbs?
Of course not. Did you?
Okay, yeah. Well,
did you really?
Those steps were like to prove to Rasputin that you were helpful.
Oh, he needs a handful of orbs.
Yes.
Right. That was what it was all hinging on.
With a masterwork gun. No, you're good enough. You've got direct clues. Yeah, you.
I mean, I haven't read the new law book. I'm not too sure how trials fits into all this because I think that's in the new law book.
That's just a training. I think it's just a training ground. There is a new law book that comes along with it.
I wonder, like, guys, might be streaming a bit more because we're gonna run out of lore soon because I think how many have we got on previous releases?
Oh, there's tons of lore coming out. It's just
okay. Season of Dawn had 91 documents on Ishtar Collective. Season of Worthy only has 25.
Oof.
What? Surely there's got to be more than that. There has to be more than that.
Maybe. Oh yeah, actually, because there was stuff that came Season of Dawn that came late, right?
And Trials might not be in Season of the Dawn, right? Like it's its own thing. So depending on the way it's categorized. I'd look into that because if you're talking about Ishtar, is that what you're looking at?
Looking at Ishtar, yeah.
Yeah, that might not be categorized.
I'm pretty sure Ishtar had 2 law books and we've only got 1 law book. So Season of Dawn had 3 law books. Crikey.
The Phoenix and the
Pigeon.
The Corridors of Time. It doesn't matter. Who the fuck knows?
All right, well, that's our segue, right? That's our little segue into talking about Trials, which came back very early this morning, Australian time. And I've got up, I've watched a few streams, I've played a little bit of it myself. Matt and Sass played this morning. So, like, what's the general vibe? Sass, we'll defer to you, given you're the PvP nutcase around here. What are your impressions and what do you like? What are you feeling? What's going on?
I found it to be pretty much, if I'm going to be a little bit of a Debbie Downer here, but I found it to be exactly what it was at the end of Destiny 1's life. So in terms of, it's like, it's kind of cool for the first 2 games, but it's nothing new. Like the map we played was a map from Destiny 1.
I think they were always going to start off with Burning Shrine, though.
Yeah. And so it was great. Like, it was great to play Osiris. Bloody Satan 14 as an announcer was really, really cool. And he actually, some of the voice lines he gave were like super, it was stuff that you already knew about, but it was really insightful to find out like in game. So one of the ones that I noticed was like, once you get a team wipe, one of the things he says is like, haha, you beat them. They're all ghosts now. All right, pick them up and then let's run it again. So it's like,
it's like it is training. It is, yeah.
Yeah. So you knew it, but it was like a kind of just a really nice insight on just how Crucible works from a in-game point of view. So
and like canonically or whatever the word for it is.
Yeah. So it was really, really cool. The lighthouse was absolutely gorgeous. Pity I can't go there.
Well, you were there to start the episode. If you're just tuning in now, watch the YouTube video later on. If you don't think you'll make it there yourself, and you'll see. I
got booted out of it, and you can't go back. You get the cold shoulder.
You only get one run at it.
But other than that, it was kind of fun. I'm interested to see how some of the new maps play out. I kind of don't really want to play Trials of Osiris on the old maps because they play basically the same. I mean, your general objectives are the same.
Yep.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I mean, man, it also reminds me of Destiny 1. Like the 3rd game and the 5th game were the hardest. Yeah. And I think Matt, we ran into that as well. Like game 3 and game Thrive were always the sweatiest. And even when I was playing with Aura and Max, they were by far the hardest. And if you managed to get through those, it was kind of like game 7 us was.
Do you think that's on purpose, given that like that's where the loot drops are?
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of it's like kind of like breakpoints. But game 7, generally, I didn't find it particularly hard. I've never found game 7. Maybe it's because you're so full of confidence that you're going to finally get there. But I don't know. I feel like game 6.
I can tell you this right now. When we got to game 7, confidence is not a word I would use to describe my emotion.
I think Matt and I fall under like the frantic. Just trying to help somehow not fuck up. That's really where we're at. But,
I liked it a lot. The best part, I guess, was Saint 14 talking about stuff, and then the lighthouse. He says some stuff.
Sorry, man.
He says some stuff when you get. Sorry, he says some stuff when you get there, which is kind of cool. Which I'll leave a secret because.
Oh,
can you record it so I have some footage for the next video, Sass?
Yeah, I'll record it.
Oh, you little faith. Look at him. He looks beaten already. You don't think we're going to make it tonight while we get on and drink scotch? What about that?
We're going to have fun.
So if you're around tonight, Aussie time, me, Matt, and Sass are going to jump in and just like
have fun.
Have fun. in the sweatiest game mode of all time. But we'll
play some trials. And we'll have a good time.
What did you make of the new card system? Because there's a little bit to it. It's not quite just turn up and buy a boon, buy a mercy and whatever, and it's a different beast. And very just if you have not loaded it up yet and you're planning on making a big weekend of trials and you're yet to play it and you're listening to this podcast, which I'd question your sanity for doing, save your fucking glimmer because they're expensive.
Oh yeah, they're expensive.
Wait, how much? I didn't even notice. How much?
$25,000 to buy.
For the base model, for the Mercy one.
So
I'll read it out. Hang on,
once you buy a ring, I'm going to just call them rings. Once you buy a ring, you can reset it as many times as you want, but to change between them costs 25,000 glim.
Actually, there's one that's the
boons. You mean what are they called now?
The passages.
They're just called passage of.
But they do look like a premiership ring or like an NFL bloody Super Bowl ring.
I believe. I read a tweet somewhere that said they're going with the Egyptian theme. They imagined these would be the kind of rings that were that pharaohs would wear.
Yeah, right. Sorry. And actually, the passage of confidence, which is the one that what is it?
We chatted. So the passage of confidence is you get no help.
Yep.
And you get double rewards if you make it.
Yeah,
all the other ones give you like a bit of benefit here and there.
That's 50,000 glimmer.
Yeah, it's a big boy.
Dude, so do you reckon that that's maybe a measure that they've put in to try and come down on people just rolling new accounts and loading it up? I don't know. Like, I mean,
I don't know, man.
that's the other thing we can talk about in a minute was just the sheer amount of fucking banning that's gone on today.
Yeah,
apparently
I don't know. That's
it's pretty scary. But I don't know. I like the new system. I think that because you can. It's not just go and spend your money, get the thing, whatever. It's you have a conversation among your team. Okay, well, what are we trying to do here? What kind of run are we going to do? And there's the one that's basically you go in, you get double tokens. So you can be going in, if you go flawless, great. But if you don't, you can still be getting something out of it and getting the tokens out of it so that you can level up Saint 14 as a vendor. Now, I am one fucking token short of leveling up Saint 14 as a vendor. So I don't know what those drops are like. I haven't seen any of them yet. I'm not sure if you guys have, but do they drop high, light, or what are they?
So
yeah, right.
My experience wasn't that they dropped insanely high. When I was chatting with Gaz and stuff this morning, the ones that we dropped at 65, which is basically max.
So they were like stat rolls. What about power level?
Yeah. Oh, they were just. I think they were on level. I can't remember. I mean, I can hand in some tokens now if you want.
Yeah, turn around, do it.
Here
we go.
Come here,
boy. Live purchasing of shit off Saint 14. How have you got 100 of them already?
You fail a bunch.
Cock up a lot of cards.
So they drop at light level.
At light level, okay.
I'm 993. So yay.
Yeah, all right. That's pretty cool. Well, that's power level. That's your total gear score. So
yeah, they give you some gloves. I believe these gloves are quite high level. Oh, there you go. That's what I got from. But yeah.
All right. So I mean, you can choose to go into trials and not be so stressed about going flawless and just try and accrue some currency to level up your shit too. So I don't know. I mean, I think that in a way that was always a thing I struggled with trials was like committing to a whole card of not fucking up whatsoever.
Yeah.
And if you don't do that, you don't get anything, right? Like that was always because it was so all or nothing that I think this is a good way to sort of give it a bit of middle ground. Obviously, with the flawless title and the triumphs and whatnot associated with it, there's some pretty hardcore shit in it too. So one for carrying, one for you'd probably already have that one, wouldn't you?
The one for getting people to the lighthouse. I've got that one.
Yeah. Oh, did you carry Maxi to the lighthouse?
Yeah, we got Maxi and Aura.
Wow, that's just disgusting. Anyway, so I don't know.
My brain is
I kind of like
dying.
I like the system around it. I'm pretty impressed with that. I think it's strong.
I really like how you don't stack the 3 boons. You have to pick. So you pick if you want a free win, or you pick if you want to go a bit balls to the wall that you can get if you win the first 3, you'll get 1 less, so you only have to win 6 in a row instead of 7.
Maybe that's why number 5 is always so sweaty.
Yeah. I don't know. But I really like how you can formulate what kind of run you want to do. So like if you're confident and you just want to get it done, you do the one that gives you the free win. If you're not entirely sure how things are going to go, you get the mercy one so you can take a loss. And then the other one's more XP, which I guess is a kind of cool one. I don't see that one being used a lot. The increased tokens you do if you've already been flawless and you just want to do more.
Yeah, just
and then And then the big boy one, which is you get 0 help at all. You have to go 7 and 0, but the payoff is that you get double the rewards at the end of it.
That's the real flex, right? At the end of it, that's people who are doing that week in, week out are the fucking animals. That's serious. That's scary shit.
That's the one. Yeah.
But I mean, the other thing that's come out of it is I jumped on Twitch this morning and Destiny was absolutely flying. You know, there's a lot of people excited about this. It's brought a bit of a spark back to the community, despite the season not being the best received. So
yeah,
it's kind of the silver lining of this season for mine. I think, you know, there was a lot of quality of life stuff came along too, which was a great improvement. One that's been a little bit contentious, and Cozy has just mentioned it in chat right as we were just about to get to it, is the fact that they've brought in a system now that allows you to choose what achievements in game you display on your emblem. Which
Rip Aura's million.
yeah, which as a idea is great, but the fact that it's kind of come along and sort of deleted people's, well, I don't think it's deleted anyone's progress, but it doesn't allow people to display the stats that they, have heavily invested in over Destiny 2's lifespan so far. So that was met with sort of like, it's a great idea, but what the fuck? Where's my stuff gone? I'm hoping sort of over the next couple of weeks that gets fleshed out a little bit, because I doubt that they'd come through and just like wipe the fucking database. I know that they don't do that.
Well,
that doesn't happen.
Some of them have been wiped to the point where they only start tracking. Yeah, like your Crucible wins, your win percentage, all those like career ones have reset.
Yeah, like
so I don't know if
in the emblems, but like in something like I haven't been in and had a look.
In the API.
Yeah, they'd still be in the API. So there's probably just dots that they need to connect, right? So it feeds from appropriate places. And I've seen Cosmo doing the rounds asking people, what specifically are you missing? What specifically do you want back? So I'd look for those to be, it doesn't seem like a huge thing in terms of re-implementing some of that stuff, but I guess time will tell how long that takes. But I can totally understand if people have, invested pretty heavily in, I don't know. I mean, it was hard to be sympathetic to people that like donated 1 million Fractaline. They're like, Bungie doesn't respect my time. And we're like, mate, you don't respect your fucking time if you're doing that. So you've got no right to complain about it. Yeah, so the other thing that's come our way with Season of the Worthy is the Sandbox Changes. And probably best summarized by the fact that Hardlight and Suros are now absolutely fucking disgusting.
Yeah, but here's the thing though, right? Hold on. So Sass, you're using hand cannon, right? And so was Aura.
Yeah. So
the thing is, if you're peeking, those pistols, the hand cannons still do pretty well.
So
like
the hand cannon will outshoot you if they hit all 3 headshots. If you drop a shot, the Suros and the Highlight just dumps you.
Exactly.
So it's high risk, high reward, which is where I think auto rifles should exist. They shouldn't be the fastest killing, but it should be super consistent to hit that peak.
I got 2 ricochet kills in trials.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Burning light's a good one because the angles are pretty nice on it. Like you can get really easy like ricochets on burning light.
Hard light.
It's actually pretty good. No, the map. What's it called?
Oh, Burning Shrine. Fuck, I'm like, what? Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of geometric hard walls. Javelin will be a good one. Javelin was always the fucking jam for that. 6 people load in with it and just
anomaly
fest. So, I don't know. I mean, auto rifles is a weapon, and we were talking about this a little bit this morning while we played, in that a tracking weapon is kind of harder than a hand cannon in a way. Like you've got to be able to track someone's head for the entire clip to be able to shred them down, where just popping someone with a hand cannon. Like, I mean, I changed between the two and I had heaps more fun playing with a hand cannon, but that's also what I've been doing for months now. So not really
I
surprising.
was on the flip side of the coin. I'd been so used to using auto rifles and SMGs and whatever, then when it came back to me using a hand cannon, I was all over the place. I couldn't do it.
No, that happens to the best of us. Of us. All right, well, last and not least, definitely not least, we'll jump into the lore that came out sort of over the few days preceding the season launch. Now, I don't think I've read a narrative preview that has hyped me up for anything as much as...
Oh my goodness, yes.
What was the name of it? I can't even remember the Shaxx one. Holy shit. I'll let Matty take over because it is his jam.
I mean, hold on. I'm actually going to do something risque here. Oh shit, hold on.
The risque.
I just need to make sure I don't have anything confidential on my screen. I'm going to share you this. This is 10 on screen share. Okay. There you go. Enjoy that, audio only listeners.
Oh, wow.
Sneak peek of the back fist. Obviously, it's not finished yet. This is what Gamma Trap's working on. Next video is going to be Shaxx decapitating Fairwinter with a crispy back fist. So you can see it's like all these electronics and sparks and stuff. Like,
wait, clear off.
coming off. So good. Basically, Felwinter, Ephrodite, and dude, you gotta forgive me. I'm running low on glucose at the moment. I've been streaming since like 6 a.m. or whatever it was,
His
and I've
mind's
been playing
failing.
trials and been doing law quizzes. My brain's starting to fail. Saladin Felwinter and Ephrodite went to Lord Shaxx to convince him. How do I stop screen sharing? That's the real question. I can't work it out.
Surely there's a button somewhere.
Okay.
There you go. Look.
Oh my goodness. Some randoms just
Sorry,
joined my
guys.
fighting.
I'm leaving so much dead air. I normally don't leave so much dead air. They went to convince Lord Shaxx. This is when Shaxx is a warlord. They went to convince Lord Shaxx. He's a warlord still. They went to convince him to join the Iron Lords. The interesting thing about the this whole story is the underlying theme is, like many good writers do, is they very sneakily write about our own world. And this is essentially like war. Basically, the whole reason why Saladin, Felwinter, and Ephrodite go to see Shaxx is like, we have to invade you, because if we don't invade you, your neighboring warlords will invade you. And if they invade you, more civilians will die. So we're going to invade you. That's like the whole underlying theme here. It's a very clever way of talking about war in our own society. And this whole idea of like, we need to do bad things to kill you so other bad people don't do bad things to you, because the bad things we do to you will be less bad than the other evil, right? So
and Shaxx's response to that was to backhand his fucking head off, which is really the only appropriate response in my opinion.
Shaxx's response to that is, this is horse shit. I am protecting the people here. No one will be harmed under my protection. Now get out of my castle. Then he proceeds to basically knock Felwinter's head off his body with the back fist. Felwinter doesn't give up. Felwinter actually challenges him 3 times in a row. The second time, he gets another back fist to the temple, which kills him. And the third time, he gets a flying knee to the head, which also takes off his head. He keeps trying to convince Shaxx to join them. Eventually, Shaxx realizes that the warlords are trying to take his territory. So basically a pile of warlords come up on his territory. The Iron Lords arrive at the same time to assault the castle. It's not quite clear, but essentially it seems like the Iron Lords fend off the neighboring warlords. And then Shaxx goes, okay, fine. I guess I agree. Will you help these people, get to Vostok territory, observatory? And he joins in question marks, joins the Iron Lords, but he doesn't really. And this is sort of the explanation around how he gets his name, Lord Shaxx, because he meets Saladin and he literally says, hello. Saladin says, hello. And then it's like, they shake hands. And then Saladin goes, Iron Lord Shaxx, question mark? And then Shaxx just says, no. And the entry ends. It just ends there. So it sort of implies that, yeah, he's accepted help from the Iron Lords. He still disagrees for their reasoning of getting rid of the warlords, because he was a warlord.
Yeah.
But he also wants to help humanity.
Wasn't there a bit of Drifter lore that said the reason he doesn't he's called Lord Shaxx is because both Iron Lord and Warlord, he just omits the first part? So it's
I doesn't specifically say that, but he sort of hints at that. He's sort of like, he was like, "What, you a Warlord?" And he's like, "Yeah, a little bit of both, basically."
Yeah.
The other really, it sort of ends on a cliffhanger. Underneath Shaxx's castle, they discover a Seraph bunker. So this is how it's going to link into the new lore. So there's a Seraph bunker underneath Shaxx's castle. Someone told me there's a map with a castle on it.
Oh, no. Okay, so that was incorrect, by the way.
Well, it sounds like it was Sassi that told you that.
No, someone in one of your things said, is Dead Cliffs Shaxx's castle, which is it's not. There's no castle on there.
Okay. So I don't know where that's going. And the last thing is they actually revisited a very old Grimoire card, which is the first sort of card that has Felwinter and Timor trying to find the Clovis Bray facility and looking for Siva. And for some reason, Felwinter, it's like this is what it makes it seem like. It's like Felwinter's a spy and Timor's asking these questions, but the questions appear at first like Timor realizes Felwinter's a spy. So when Timor's not looking, Felwinter like pulls up his hand cannon to like shoot Timor in the back of the head. And then Timor changes the direction of the conversation. And then it's like, oh, Felwinter realized, oh, he's not onto me yet. I don't know how I can explain that in a better way, but does that make sense?
It makes sense to me, but I've read it. But like that was the impression that I got. It was like, kind of like this, I don't know. Like, I mean, Felwinter's an exo, and I think that it's leading to something tying them all in with Rasputin or some of them or whatever, because I've seen a few things that Anon has shared over the last day or so that are super fucking interesting on that front. And I think that it's probably something that we'll dive into on here when we have a little bit more information and time to flesh it all out. But, oh man, like it was basically like Felwinter was paranoid that he wasn't hiding. He didn't think that he was hiding something, but felt like Timor thought that he was hiding something, so was prepared to kill him in self-defense, not really knowing what it was all about to begin with, which is like, it reeked of like kind of paranoia, but it also speaks to the fact that, you know, with Felwinter as an exo, there's something on a deeper level going on that
I don't know.
we probably haven't got
like
the full picture of yet.
See, I'm thinking Felwinter knew something. I'm thinking Felwinter knew there was a Seraph bunker underneath Shaxx's castle somehow. And that's why he was so persistent. And he was there for multiple days. Like, did he go and investigate that? Did he have an ulterior motive for being at Shaxx's castle? That's sort of where I'm sort of theorizing.
Do you think he could even be like even more conspiracy deeper than that? That he doesn't even know. It's just like a sleeper agent type thing, where there's
that's what I'm getting
code.
at.
Yeah, hidden code from Rasputin that's in every exo, where they don't have a choice and they're not even aware that the choice is being
that's
made.
a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, that was what I was alluding to. And that's the stuff that Anon has been like talking about over the last few days, was like basically the breaking up of Rasputin's consciousness into smaller compartments so that they could control him. And that perhaps some of those, you know, smaller parts of his consciousness were stored in exos that were then wiped, that may well be exos that we know. That, you know, there is is it Shin, what's his name? The dude that that gave, I'm going to butcher it, but I'm trying to think of who it is. It's fuck it, Lord nerds.
8-6 Shiro 4.
Is it Shiro? I'm trying to think. It might be Shiro, but there's the one that's convinced
Vosta?
that Cade is actually Rasputin.
Oh.
Then that's like a D1 card, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Wasn't that Andrew Brask, the original?
That's Andrew
Vanguard
Brask.
Or some fucking hunter, I don't know.
Yeah.
I love how angry you get, like, because you can't think of me. Like,
it's
fuck
just
off, all nerds, you fucking dickheads. It's like,
you know what the annoying thing is like I'm passionate about it and I enjoy it, but my memory is too shit for me to be able to keep it all like if I kept fucking notes on it, I'd be sweet. But my brain is just full of so much other shit that I can't retain it. But I don't know. I think there's something that they're alluding to something with this. There's definitely going to be more come of it. Also.
Oh yeah, I haven't read Tommy's matchbook yet either. I haven't read. The only stuff I've read is online, and I'm even behind in that. So guess what, guys? See, everyone makes fucking fun of me, but guess what? I actually play the game, and I don't have hours and hours in the day to read the entire lore and summarize everything for you and get all my videos. Like, look, I'm playing the game, all right?
Why not both?
Yeah,
why not both?
Then
we end up.
That's what you did to Aura and I this morning.
Then we end up in a Microsoft Word stream again, and we've all been there before.
I've been in your streams. I would never stream Microsoft Word. Not that I'm like above it. I know that it would be woeful. Like you can somehow get away with it. For me, not so much. Not so much whatsoever. What did you make of the incredibly difficult to read and long Rasputin themed entries with Anna Bray in them?
The Game of Thrones-esque writing and stuff.
I just found that they were like, I don't know, all the brackets and bullshit just it kind of makes it hard to read. And I think it's that way by design.
Yeah, of course. There's two types of lore entries. There's something like Shaxx, right? There's nothing like the Shaxx entry. I think is amazing. I think it was awesome backstory. I think it's some cool concepts in there. I think it's a great commentary on war. I love personally. I love simple, effective writing. And I think that half of it was single lines.
Yeah.
Shaxx said, and it got me really engaged.
Hi, yes, no.
It kind of speaks to the tone of the character too, though, like because he's just
100%.
Yeah,
100%. And I thought that was just perfect. I thought that I haven't read the second Rasputin entry, but the first one, it was a tough read, and there's nothing wrong with that. Those kind of entries are the kind of entries that give you theory crafting for years to come. Like the original Rasputin lore entries we've been talking about for years. So there's nothing wrong with that. It wasn't as exciting for me to read on stream, but it's something I'd probably enjoy off stream when I need to really dissect it. And plus, there were lots of hard words like bandoiler and stuff like that in there.
Can we stop on that? Can we stop on that for a sec? There is no way in the world I'm not taking this moment, Matt. I'm very sorry. But Matt, for 15 whole minutes, referring to a bandolier as a bandoiler. And I was actually sitting in your stream while you were doing it, and I'm like, Matt, and you were so intent on reading it. I'm trying to pull it up. Your fucking chat is just losing its mind. But they're just typing out they're writing out it's bandolier like over and over again. But because no one can phonetically say it to you, it's just
why do people write? Why do Lear, Leer? Why the fuck is it not spelled like that?
I don't know. I don't know. It's probably a French word or something. I think it might be. It sounds like a French bandolier. But that literally made my week. That was my favorite part of this week.
Okay, look. Okay, look, everyone's been there, okay? There are things like if you read it in a book, and I'm pretty sure it's just video games that I've seen it. Everyone's been there, right? Shut up.
Got him.
Everyone's been there, and I guarantee there is a word you've been saying completely fucking wrong for your entire life, but you've never had to say it out loud. And I was in the scenario of the perfect storm where there was a word that I've been saying wrong in my head for years, and I've never had the reason to say bandolier out in the universe. And all of a sudden, I'm reading bandoiler because that's how my brain has fucking said it for the last 31 years.
And broadcasting it straight to people where you don't have if you just said it around the house, Danny'd be like, Matt. Bandoliers don't come up often in domestic Australian life, funnily enough. So.
And I was convinced though that that you got it wrong. I was like, no way. I've heard this somewhere. I'm sure I didn't just make this shit up. I was so convinced that's how you fucking say it. And then
you punched it into Google Translate or whatever it was. That moment, I need to go back and clip that moment where you played it, and you realized you were wrong, and you died a little bit on the inside because it was fucking glorious. And it just you type it in,
I need
and
a French speaker.
It goes bandolier, and you just went.
Fuck my life.
Matt's like Principal Skinner, man. It's like, are my phonetics wrong? No, it's the chat who was wrong.
I just thought it was hilarious. So many people via text trying to, because you can't convey that by text. It was going bandolier. Oh, man. It was good. It was good. It wasn't the first. It won't be the last. Fuck. I mean, I'll mispronounce everything.
Definitely wasn't the first. Shout out to the raid layers. Good old raid layers.
Kaber and Kabir, the original one, the original chicken or egg.
This old chestnut.
So yeah, I don't know. All right. Well,
See, right now I'm still trying to find at least one video that says Bandoiler.
If you can't think of anything to leave in the comments, you can leave the words Bandoiler.
Hold on. This video has got. Oh no, they say it correct, but it's got.
Matt.
It says. Hold on. This one says Bandolier, and it's got 3 downvotes.
Mate. Just
I don't even know. What are you looking at?
Posted 5 days ago. Is this a joke?
Was that when you were streaming? Is this a joke?
Guys, I feel like I need to go and investigate because this video says Bandolier and it's got more downvotes than upvotes. And the top comment is this a joke? By the way, it's the only comment as well.
Probably because is this a joke that anyone can mispronounce this?
Matt, there is 0 footing underneath this position.
It is unequivocally wrong. There is no
Does anyone speak French? Are there any languages that I can get close to Bandoiler?
Sassi speaks French.
Do you, Sassi?
Yes, I'm half French.
That explains a lot.
That's why he's on the podcast this week. Yeah, all right. Look, we've opened up the chat. If you've got any questions you want to ask, fire away. But Sir Bubbles, you are 100% right because I did say trob instead of twab last week. So he in glass houses shall not throw stones. I'm simply just having a laugh with my mate. There's no malice in it. It's funny. Oh man.
Good laugh.
It's good. It's good to laugh. It's good to laugh.
You got to put yourself on the line. You know, I feel like we do that all the time. You put yourself on the line, and everyone gets to laugh at you. You might be the butt of all the jokes, but everyone gets a good giggle. You know?
I think that's the one thing that we do is that, you know, like if anyone's going to laugh at us, it's us first. And then at that point, you know, everyone else is laughing with you after that. So, I mean, maybe not when I'm playing PvP. I tend not to laugh at myself so much. I tend to like get a bit cranky about things and whatever. So if you want to see the opposite side of me and Matt, the one that, you know, the cranky side, you probably see that a bit tonight when we stream. But
I was actually way less cranky than I am normally in Crucible, to be honest. You
were fine. The one thing that surprised me about you was just the instant volume whenever you did anything good. you hosed someone down as they ran away from you with your auto rifle. You're like, yeah, that's how you fucking do it. Just whatever.
Matt even warned us. He's like, look, man, I might not do a lot of things, but I'm a damn well celebrate when I do.
How do you know when Matt gets a kill?
Don't worry, he'll let you know.
Yeah, don't worry, he'll let you know.
All right. Yeah, so Frano, just to answer your question, no, I'm not protecting my arms from coronavirus. I just wore a sheet with sleeves, a shirt with sleeves today. Fucking hell, I've caught myelinitis. I can't pronounce things.
Oh, no.
But I don't know, maybe down the line we can talk about why. Do you think it's a bit light on for content this season pass?
Give it time.
I think half a week in of people deliberately trying to grind to raise their light for trials is probably the worst possible way we can gauge the amount of content that's been added to the game. Because
particularly after how many times we flame Reddit for doing exactly that.
Yeah. I think while I'm going to go on the line right now and say, personally, I've been a little bit underwhelmed by this season. While I have enjoyed trials and, you know, the quality of life stuff, I do think that there's been important strides forward made for Destiny this season. But in terms of the main core narrative of this season, I think, I don't disagree that it's been a little bit underwhelming. But in the fullness of time, it'll be interesting to see how much it fleshes out because, you know, we were all under the assumption that, you know, something had to give for them to bring trials back, right? Well, maybe that's not the case, and maybe it's just this sort of seasonal rollout model, and that's the way it is. I don't know. How do you guys feel about that? Do you think that the sort of like coming back every week and getting a little bit more story is a good thing? Like,
I think it would be my still issue is I really would like to know what the impression would be if people just got to explore the Seraph Towers more and the bunkers as an activity rather than doing bounties wherever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the bounties are new. Like, I mean, yeah, they're new, but the bounties are always going to be the same stuff. Collect orbs, get kills, blah, 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 blah. Only thing that changes is the activities that you make people do the bounties for. And I just don't know if that.
Yeah, it feels like there's a significant disconnect at that
There's
point.
a bit of disconnect there.
Salmon's question, Salmon3268. Do you like Gambit? No.
It's pronounced Salmon.
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 You fucking had me there for half a second. A word I've been saying my entire life, and you still threw me, you piece of shit. I was about to go, oh, sorry, mate. Like it was someone's, and then, oh, you motherfucker.
No.
What was the question?
Do you like Gambit?
I feel like that's a troll.
Very good idea. Could have been executed better.
You know what? I will say this for Gambit. When Gambit first came out and before everyone got their hands on it and, like basically formed the meta around how to tackle every single part of it, the first week of Gambit, it was fucking fun. The week where we didn't even have Shadowkeep yet, fucking Forsaken yet, and they just let Gambit out of its cage for a little bit, it was fun. There was a lot of fun had there. The fact that sort of like they've not done anything with it, we've got Gambit Prime and all of that sort of stuff. I just think that's probably why it's a bit stale, it's a bit boring, and it can be incredibly glitchy and stuff too. So there's a lot going on in a Gambit game, and that's probably why. You get a lot of frame drops and stuff like that. And for me, it feels like the part of Destiny that's like the most poorly optimized. It doesn't feel great to play. The games are always fucking sweaty, and it's pretty punishing. So I played last season quite a bit. But I haven't really this season and don't really plan to because there's no pinnacles. That was the other thing that we haven't talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Was the fact that the only pinnacle weapon we're getting this season is a bow for Iron Banner. What do you make of that, dudes?
That was supposed to come out last season.
Yeah, well, there's
Upside
that.
down smiley face.
So, I mean, a lot of the hardcore community is like, well, what the fuck? And rightly so. I think that's part of why people are getting this sort of snowball impression that, the season's a bit light on, like there's not even the pinnacle weapons. So
do you think we're going to get a dungeon or something? Because it feels like
fucking hope so.
I so hope so. A Rasputin themed dungeon, or not even a dungeon, just a hidden mission like the Whisper or 0 Hour would be so cool.
That's always been the savior, right? Like I love seeing the big swings in momentum where you're like the next day, Bungie, you're the fucking my favorite company. What an amazing mission.
Yeah, but
they do that shit so well.
I mean, I know, because let's be optimistic here. Last season, right, we got annoyed that even the hidden stuff, they told us what was going to happen. So like when Bastion came out, it was on the roadmap. So when we did the hidden corridors of time stuff and we found out that it was Bastion, everyone's like, oh, but you already said it was going to happen. So what if they did the opposite and they didn't really tell us what's coming out this season? Then everyone's like, this season's really light. And then we get a bunch of stuff that they had planned. They just hadn't told us because we like surprises.
I fucking hope that that's the way it is, but I do not think that that's the way it is, right? Like, I don't believe that, but I want that at the same time. Yeah. I do hope, I do get the feeling that there's something in the air, though. It does feel...
Mine's telling me no.
But my body is telling me dungeon. I do feel like there could be a dungeon. I feel like it's been a little while, it's been a while. What is happening to this fucking podcast? I don't know. Yeah, I hadn't really thought about that until you mentioned it then. So I would like to see that happen. That is a definite. What else have we got coming in here on the questions? Have you guys bunkered down for the Big 19 spread? The Big 19 spread.
I didn't get it.
It's coronavirus, Matt. COVID-19. No, I haven't bunkered down yet, and I've spent considerable time in hospitals over the last couple of days. So if there's one of the three of us that's going to come down with it, my run of luck, it's definitely going to be me. But Tom Hanks has got it. Why are we worried about ourselves? Tom Hanks.
Yeah. My my brother's stuck in Australia at the moment. He lives in Shenzhen, which is the city just outside of Hong Kong, and he's stuck in Australia because he can't go home because they're not allowed to come back. So they're up here, like they spend time over here all the time. And Matt got to speak to my niece
Oh, she's
for a little bit.
Jesus.
She was ridiculously cute. But
what did she ask me? Oh, that's right. I was like, she's like, what game are you playing? I'm like, playing Destiny. And then I think she's like, oh, Matt's a YouTuber or something. And I was like, oh yeah, do you know of this game, this YouTuber, My Name is Bife? And then she's almost like writing it down. She's like, my name is Bife. I was like, yeah, go like, comment, subscribe. It's like, okay.
So you're sending children in Bob's direction. Why? You could have a fan for life there, Matt. You're too humble. I mean, it is starting to pick up here. We're seeing a lot of our National Rugby League will play to empty stadiums next weekend and crazy shit like that. So it's definitely starting to ramp up in Australia. I know that we have most of our audience is in Australia. So just to give you the bit of a sit rep, and even, you look at the measures Bungie's taken over the last week and a half, that basically an entire organization is working from home. So it's definitely hit stateside as well.
I think our unis and schools are going to be next, to be honest.
Yeah. So the Prime Minister's banned gatherings of 500 or more. Obviously, places like universities, schools, shopping centers are currently exempt. I know at work we're basically playing it by ear.
Yep.
I don't really want to go into too many details, but
and I think a lot of it's pretty crazy. I've never lived through anything like this. I don't think any of us have. So, I'm just going to touch on Etsy's little. Start calling it the boomer remover, people.
The boomer remover.
When you realize that the COVID-19 only affects boomers, the future is now, old man.
Well, the interesting thing, Salmon 3268, is my life doesn't change if I get coronavirus. I sit at home streaming.
So the joke's just on the rest of us.
Making law videos and fucking doing PhD work. And that's how the cookie crumbles.
Interesting that there's been no COVID-19 reported in Russia, so maybe vodka kills it. Maybe that's it.
Well, no, I actually heard something. I don't know how true this is, but people are saying
that's the perfect podder for the podcast.
Yes, I think we should drink because it's a virus, right? And apparently it needs to get into your lungs because you get pneumonia from it. So it sits in your nasal passage and your throat. So apparently just drink heaps of alcohol, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sold. You don't need to tell me twice.
Done. Easy. We'll get started tonight.
Do not take medical advice from us ever.
Yeah. This is the Destiny Down Under podcast, not fucking any kind of medical practitioner Down Under podcast.
This got really real for a moment.
From Joshy THH. Did you guys talk about the crazy thing where the sleeper mission is weird and you can now mow down bad guys at the end? It's the same in the Whisper mission. It's the same in what's the one in the old tower?
Zero Hour.
Yeah, in Zero Hour. So you can basically go in and for whatever reason the enemies are they've just dropped the level of the enemies.
Light level has been enabled.
You can hit them with one recluse bullet and they die. So you just shred them. You absolutely fucking shred them. So if you need to go through and get catalysts or stuff like that, now is absolutely the time to do it. So jump on that, get into it.
Because Outbreak Prime is definitely a worthwhile gun, so go get it. And
Outbreak.
Whisper,
I need to do the catalyst. I never bothered. Don't know why.
I heard is Whisper back since the
Whisper is
an
back.
This is an argument. It's kind of rid of the fucking thing.
Oh my god. Izaganami
the worm,
is out,
mate.
and
Sounds like a fucking tapeworm.
Whisper is back.
Whisper. Why are you saying what? Which way?
Enough pronunciation of shit.
But yeah. Go do it. Super easy.
I'm scrolling back through.
Oh, here's one. How have you run into? Because Matt and I have. Have you run into the? It was in the chat too. Have you run into the new Titan exotic where you can shoot through the barrier?
Titan ramparts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got them. I had them dropped for me the other night.
How are you finding them?
I haven't used them as yet, but I've seen people using them, and I think it's kind of novel. I don't hate it. I don't hate the idea of it. I think if you got people, like if you had a team full of Titans that were all using it, it would be fucking annoying.
You said like one behind the other behind the other.
Yeah.
So it's
yeah, so you've got an impenetrable fucking fortress of shit that you can stand behind and snipe.
I tried them a little bit in trials and they got melted immediately.
Yeah.
The normal barriers felt like they had enough HP still, but that thing just melted, man.
I think the changes with the barriers that they made where you can like really shred them with a sniper or a shotgun were smart in that, like, yeah, you can shred them with a sniper or a shotgun, but you've got to be prepared to waste the ammo on fucking shooting something that
they're still
ultimately
powerful.
Doesn't matter.
Like, that makes them use ammo. Like,
yeah.
Makes it special. So
I think it was a good change, all told.
No, we liked it a lot, except there was an instance where I was 1v2, and I killed the first guy who just put up that shield, and I was trying to use the shield as a shield to block, like, for the other guy.
Yeah.
And then he just shot through the shield and killed me. So I was like, oh yeah, that's a thing.
Oh well.
But yeah, we got into the groove, as Maxi said. Basically, as soon as you see the shield pop up, you melt it, so it just completely nullifies it. It's weak enough that if you focus fire it drops pretty quickly. But if they get it set up and they get like posted behind it, they can actually be really pesky with it.
Holy shit! Have you heard this? I hadn't heard that yet, Matt. That they've disabled the new Hunter exotic.
Yeah.
What happened? I haven't heard anything about this. Lay it on me.
Okay.
Jesus.
So, the new Hunter exotic. It's supposed to be the same as that Chaos Reach, Geomax State. No, it's that leg exotic for the Chaos Reach, where if you can cancel the super early.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's supposed to be that you can cancel your Arc Staff early, and it just gives you that super. The current issue is that if you die while you're in super, they count that as a cancel. So it just gives you whatever super you had at that point.
So you can just recklessly charge in and hope for the best.
So you can pop it, get a kill, get absolutely destroyed, spawn in with like 90% of your super packs. So that's why they disabled it pretty quickly.
It's almost a cool idea for a super, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe
it
if it
looks
gave you
amazing.
I don't know, increased regen if you died while in your super or something, it'd be cool. But giving you 90% of your super back after you've just used it to kill two people is pretty fucking naff.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of in two minds about these exotics that do two things. Like, because the other thing it does is it basically causes no energy requirement to do the whirlybird
defensive thing,
the whirlwind guard.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of exotics now do two exotic things, where a lot of the old ones do like one. I feel like it should have just done one, either give you the ability to cancel it early, or the basically no damage, like no super attacks when you're guarding. But I don't know, that's just me. It looks amazing, so I like it a lot.
Yeah, I think that's, I don't know. The Titans look pretty cool. What did the Warlocks get? I haven't even looked into it, to be honest. I just worried about Titan.
No clue.
All right, if you're a Warlock in chat, tell us whether or not you like your new exotic. Do you think that like they kind of give them away too soon into these new content releases? Like I had mine on day one. Like, do you think they need to kind of, I don't know. Then again,
I got mine as a random drop. Yeah.
Yeah, same. Just
I got mine as a random drop pretty early.
First day.
But mind you, that's because the exotic things do the
protection.
It's the protection thing where you don't get dupes if you have stuff remaining. So if you have all the exotics coming into the season, the next exotic you get will be the new one.
The new one.
So,
Matt, I saw you were using the Annotator's Wards in PvP. How did you find them? Because I really loved them.
I blocked a sniper shot with it.
Yeah,
really?
You can shut up about it for like 2 minutes.
Because when you're like, chat, did you see that? Chat, did you see that? Chat, did you see that?
I mean, did you see it hit the shield and?
Yeah, Yeah,
Did
and the
it go
perk
back
came
to
up.
him, or did it go back at him,
Yeah.
or did it just bounced off?
Just bounced
Oh,
off.
I don't know where it went. Yeah.
Matt was too busy celebrating to not survive the next
so
few seconds after that.
The way that I've been using them is basically if we have people that rush you with shotguns, is I switch to having that, put my own shotgun on, and then just slide around every corner, shotgun melee.
Yeah.
And it didn't help me in trials as much as it helped me in like normal crucible.
Yep.
It works pretty effectively quite often. Like people don't expect their bullets to be ricocheted back at them. I've been very close to deflecting supers a couple times. You have to be, the timing's really tough because his shield doesn't go on immediately. It has like a tiny delay. So you sort of got to start the slide.
I saw a good
just
post
before
from
get a hammer off or something.
Aztec Ross through the week that sort of explained how that works, in that it doesn't instantly give you the shield at 100% of its value. It kind of like, as you go through the slide motion, increases so that it goes from like 0 to 100. It's like a linear thing. So like at the back end of your slide, if someone hits you, you nearly, you don't wear any of it, which I think is cool. I think it adds to the sort of, like if you hit someone as soon as they're trying to activate it, you probably still smash them. But anything after that, like if you're not quick enough to do that, you're going to pay the price, and it's going to come back in your face.
It's really nice to use to like slide through areas that are dangerous. Like I was doing some comp, and this one guy had done it twice already, which is he was basically fighting a mountaintop down one of the lanes, and it was always the first thing. So it was like, all right, I'm just going to slide past this every time now because I know my boots are going to deflect it, and that's basically what he's been doing it. So you can sort of use it like that as well.
That's awesome. Yeah, I might have to think about it, because my go-to Titan exotic, the Dune Marches, have now become like the cheesiest of cheese shit because of the range buff. They are. I don't know, and I mean this is I guess it comes back to fucking design philosophy. But I'd love to be able to be a fly on the wall in the meeting where someone convinced the devs at Bungie that they needed to up the fucking range on that, because it was already crazy. It was already really strong. It's just been sort of one of those, maybe second or third tier exotics that's like, it's not a standout, but it was always fucking solid. And now it is just fucking insane. A bit like Hardlight, to be honest. Like Hardlight was always really good, and now it's head and shoulders above everything else in its class because of the buffs that have just come through with this recent Sandbox pass. So, man, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what the actual conversation was.
I want to see like an aerial view of someone using Dune Marches in Esky Protocol, because I just want to see the entire map just chain from this singular Titan. Like,
they've always been insane. Even back like a week before last when we were running, when we were doing raids.
But now it's like twice as big.
Oh well,
the big lightning boy.
All right, well, what we might do, we might start wrapping up. Because we've run out of things to talk about. I don't know, we haven't. If you've got any super urgent questions, get them in right now. We'll do one or two more. But
what time are you streaming tonight? What time are we getting flawless?
I'll be on a bit after. What time are we getting flawless?
you gotta think like a streamer. You gotta play like a streamer.
No, you make me think of that. That fucking meme. They're like, and we're not going to bed until we lose a game, and then it's like 5 minutes later, 2 dudes in bed.
That's my favorite comic, dude. It's so good.
I also like that what was that Russian metal meme that you put out?
The dredging meme. The Etsy made.
That is me and you 100% in third place.
It's like the third place on the podium is just like number 1, Unbroken, which is like Sass. Number 2, Unbroken, with KDs of like 2.0, 2.3. Then it's dredging on the podium. Number 3 with 0.6. Fucking kissing the bloody metal girl, spraying champagne, yelling out, flipping everyone off. I've achieved it. That's me when I get to the fucking lighthouse. That'll be me. I've been carried there fucking kicking and screaming, but I'll be on about 8:30 my time tonight. So New South Wales time, AEDT or whatever it is at the moment. But it'll be good fun. I mean, we're not super worried about doing anything other than having a good time. So if you want to swing by, do it. We've got to look. I'll throw it out there. We did tease a couple of weeks ago that we had a pretty big announcement that we were going to be making. That we kind of didn't make the following week. And there was a few logistical things that needed to be ironed out. There was a few not issues that needed to be resolved because everything's going ahead swimmingly. But I can promise you this week, right now, if you watch next week, there will be an announcement. There will 100% be an announcement of what we've got going on and how it feeds into not our community but the wider Destiny community. We're getting a little bit of help to sort of reward just people out there who are doing the right thing and helping each other out.
Vloggers are matching subscriptions on Twitch.
No. I like my money. Not after the week I've had. Maybe next week. All right. Well, we might. You just finances are in fucking disarray. Leave me alone. All right, I'm gonna go through. We're gonna find someone to host, but
Aura
is Aura streaming?
Yeah, he was streaming because because he was helping me out this morning. Let's pay the favor back.
Is he still streaming?
I think that's his name. I think I put it in our chat.
And we check.
I'll check.
Just sling me a message. I can't fucking see the chat. This has been the loosest episode of this ever. So
you reckon? I feel like we've been most on topic we've ever been.
I think we were pretty good, hey? Like you know what threw me? Starting out just talking about Destiny because we couldn't help ourselves. That's what really it's funny.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that.
Have you got your Twitter?
Yeah.
That wasn't the right.
I got it. No, I've PM'd you.
Yeah, we don't want to accidentally host the wrong Aura. That would be bad.
I'm DM'd it to you on Twitter.
Oh yeah, I know. Oh yeah, it's on my screen anyway. All right, we're gonna host into Aura. Thank you for fucking hanging out in the live stream. If you're listening to this, irrespective of where, thank you for your continued support. I hope that we come back next week and we get to understand a little bit more about what's going on with the full length of the season. Never mind, Aura's getting off. We're gonna find someone else.
Rip the dream.
There is that.
Did you just say that?
Yeah, Max just did, and he's playing with him. So rock and roll. We are going to go and visit Homes in 5. But Maddie, where's the law going to find people these days? Can you?
Oh, the law will find you in the lighthouse. Good fucking lad.
I did not see that coming. Holy shit. Seeing the lighthouse, suckers. Bye.